Naming things in code is difficult. It would be even more difficult if everyone was competing for the same pool of good names. To make this easier, we have namespaces. A namespace groups together everything declared within it such that they're not directly accessible outside of that namespace. It can be tricky to describe, but it's a simple idea, so let's just look at the code. Let's say I've got two libraries that both have a savelogs function. If both are defined in the global namespace, my code won't compile because it can't tell the difference between the two functions, and it doesn't know which one I'm trying to call. I can fix this by putting the functions in different namespaces. Now it's clear which function I'm trying to refer to because the namespace is now part of the identifier. The double colon in a name tells us that the thing on the right should be searched for in the namespace on the left. All libraries should put their symbols into unique namespaces, usually using some variation of the name of the library. Even the code we write in ROS will often be placed in a namespace based on the package name. Two common namespaces you'll see in our code are the namespaces for the standard library, called std, and the namespace for the ROS client library, called rclcpp. You can also nest namespaces together. This can be useful for organizing large libraries. Nested namespaces are again separated by double colons. For example, here's a function from the OpenCV library. The library's top-level namespace is CV. Within that, there's a nested namespace called aruco, and within that, there's a function named drawDetectedMarkers. You can gain direct access to all of the names in a namespace with the using keyword. When we write using namespace stud, our code can now directly reference names in the standard library without the std::: prefix. This technique can quickly become problematic. If you start importing namespaces in this way and there are conflicting names, you'll start getting errors about certain names being ambiguous. If you find that some library has particularly verbose namespaces, you can alias namespaces with a line like this. This creates a new namespace called RJU as an alternative name for the RoboJackets utils namespace. This is a better way to avoid long type names than pulling in all the names with a using statement. And that's the basics of namespaces. There are other tricks you can do with namespaces, but they don't come up in most code, so we won't worry about them right now.